I can only do one or the other, so that's probably the problem. So, this says it's being sent to YouTube, but it's just now getting rolling. And there we are live, Mr. Ross. I'll send you the link right here in the chat so you can find it real easily. Cool. So welcome everyone out there that's been waiting patiently for us to go live. I think we're a minute or so late. No, we're not even. We're right on time. A little early, actually. But we're running a little late. I'm looking at the other clock, and it's already past 12. So if you're a follower of Best AI Podcast, welcome once again. If you're new, this is what we do every Wednesday at 12 noon. Ross and I get together and we talk Best AI Workshop, which is really us getting together and giving you our time so that you can better understand AI. And what we teach is how you can apply it in your life and business, whether it's AI generated graphics, video, or just generative AI content in general. And also connecting those AI components to automations so that you can just kind of set it and forget it, then you're in the right place. And we're here to show you how to do that. So Ross has got a really cool case study that he's trying to plug in that we can show everyone today. And we thought that'd be a good route to take, is maybe instead of just complicating things in your brain and trying to teach you a lot of stuff about AI, we're going to show you a couple that are in use. I've got one here I can obviously pull up as well. Ross is going to pull up one that he's got a name for over there already. Show us a little bit about it. We actually put an itinerary together today, didn't we?
Yeah, and I was
going to follow that this time.
Yeah, and we're going to do a workshop today based on a request from a listener who has a chiropractic office, and they want to know how they can use AI in their business. So we're not going to go through the full build. If he wants us to build that for him, we can. If he wants to do it on his own, he can. We're just going to show you how we would do it using the systems that we have access to. And I'm a little bit blurry, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. And we're going to run through this. So I am posting this link right now.
On Facebook too.
And once I do that, we'll jump right in.
A lot of people out there looking for me on Facebook most of the time. So I'm going to drop that on my profile. And as I do, fire it up on Best AI TV, which is the new page that I have. Leland Best Live for most of my followers that know me for the last while. And over on Best Live TV, so that anyone over there that's been hanging out can see what we're up to over here. All right, let me print this itinerary, Ross, and we'll be good to go, or whatever we want to call it today. That way I know. And again, using AI to build a script so that we can simply come out here. I mean, Ross had an idea what we could talk about. I had an idea, and we just decided, well, we'll just plug something into chat and come up with an outline. I do this with a lot of my podcast hosting that we do. And it does wonders, doesn't it, dude? Download it. Oh, it's downloaded it like 3 times now.
I do that every once in a while too. I'm like, oh shit, it's there. Just open it.
Yeah, I like that. That's the thing too. You would like to see it just open. So I'm gonna print mine that way. I got a paper copy. I like having something in my hand when I'm a host. I feel like that guy on TV going, so the next question on my list. I don't really have any questions today yet, Ross. Again, we don't have a script for this show normally, and Ross made this because, and he should know better. I should have told him this is for the podcast. No. I like the fact that Ross is as organized as I am most of the time. It's just a matter of applying that organizational skills as often as we should. So, in the case of AI, look what he came up with. Look at this. This was just an AI generated script with some content. So it allows us to come in here and say, what are we going to talk about today? If you guys aren't doing this already, you're missing the boat. I mean, I could sit down and take me an hour to write a script, or I could sit there for 30 seconds and write a script and have the same exact result.
Actually, probably a better result, because AI will take what you want, and instead of getting jumbled while it's doing it and losing track of where it is 5 times, or getting phone calls that distract you, it just does it.
And it's all spelled right, formatted correctly, proper grammar, English, everything else.
Yeah, don't expect me to do that.
Nope. Not at least in any day soon. So on our list, it says we have an introduction of 5 minutes. Did we used up our 5 minutes yet?
Probably. I don't know. We're building an AI for a chiropractic office. There you go. There's the intro.
I like it. It works for me. So we're going to create an AI model with GPT. And the idea behind that is to simply give it the prompting that it needs to build the bot that we want, basically. So Ross, you want to take us through the steps? Are you
It
ready
will
yet?
not let me share. It says you cannot start screen
Oh,
share
really?
while other participant is sharing. And I don't think you're sharing.
I'm not sharing. Oh, I'm sharing the computer audio. That is correct. Let me stop the music. We had music going in the background today. Zoom added background music to their
I don't
system.
like that you can't share a screen while the music's going.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that too. It's kind of lame. Let me
it
see.
is.
I'm going to
All right,
close
so we'll do the
that.
window. That way I
Oh,
can
you're good. You're good. You should be
kind
able
of
to do it.
bounce back and forth here. So I'm going to go between creating the AI
Okay. I'm gonna,
and how I create a prompt.
I'm gonna set. Can I
So
set a timer on you, dude? I bet I
yeah,
could do.
set a timer. Let's see
Let
how
me
long
set
this
a
takes.
stopwatch. I'm gonna see how long it takes. Ready? All right. We're gonna let everybody see the stopwatch. We're gonna start it right now. All right.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys some intricate things and I'm going to show you some just overviews. This is the one thing that is most critical to getting this right. So I'm going to go very intricate with creating the model for the AI. So I've already kind of trained my AI on it, but I'm also going to pull some examples and we will build this out. So the prompting to create a prompt is what we're doing here. So I want to create a and this is something that we've built forms. Leland and I have built forms on
Yeah.
the back end. All you have to do is fill out a form and it'll run through it. But I'm going to show you how you can do it in GPT for free without having to use any of these systems in case you're not working with us and you want to build it on your own. You can use GPT to do it for free. So I want to create a chiropractic assistant that books appointments, answers questions, and takes info for an intake of a client. I spelled something, oh, three P's. Yeah, that doesn't work. So then we're going to
Love
go
it.
through here and I'm going to give it a framework to make a master model
I love these live demos.
from,
Don't
right?
we? We always feel like we type faster when we're not giving a demo. Doesn't it seem that way?
Isn't that the truth? I'm going to make a master model prompt for the AIBA. It already knows what I'm doing for AIBA.
We always
It
misspell
should
every word.
include a name, Grace, title of the employee, um,
So he's just basically typing out what you could fill into a form, which would be something generative to the business model. I mean, everybody's business model is a little different. We can focus in on niche and avatars and sales and service, whatever it is you're providing. And that's really all he's doing is he's giving it in a grammatical form rather than having someone fill out the form. This is just to say, if you want to pay somebody to have a system built so you don't have to do this, I like the fact too, Russ, that each time I generate a prompt, I've been saving them. And what I find is every time I pull that prompt out and I use it, I'm always modifying it again and then saving it again and putting it back where it was because it's a better prompt. One of the things I learned from one person out there on a video was any prompt you have, just simply feed it back to GPT. And I know I've mentioned this before, and ask GPT to review your prompt, rewrite your prompt, and ask any questions prior to beginning the rewrite of the prompt that it might have before it proceeds. That way, it understands your prompt fully and it'll tell you whether it does or not. And it's a good one off to be able to say it's there to check you all the time to be able to see whether you're doing your prompts correctly. All right, we're rounding on 3.5 minutes, Ross.
and
Pretty
this
good.
would have already been done had I used my forms. So this is a
Yeah,
longer way around,
but
but I'm
that's
almost
just to
done.
show we're still under 5 minutes. We're doing good. I like the fact that how could you possibly build a human employee? It take
Right?
you 10 minutes just to have them fill out the application. Okay, so right now they haven't even started filling out the application, and Ross has practically done assigning the tasks to the employee that's ready and willing to go to work.
All right. So there's my main prompt,
Mhm.
and it's going to make the master model. So it's going through, giving me the name, title, company, and the chiropractor's name. We're using the persona, conversation vision, stages, greeting and introduction, and it's going to go with an objective, prompt, and instructions on where to go for the stages. Providing information, answering questions, same thing, objective, prompt, instructions on where to go with the stages. Appointment scheduling, collecting intake information, confirming appointment and follow-up, and closing the conversation. So
Yeah.
now we have all of this here. I'm going to go side by side with my
Yeah.
screens. Can you see that pretty well? Or is it staying on
It's
one?
on one.
Okay, so then that doesn't matter. So let's put this back.
It might work if you do a screen. If you're sharing, you might be sharing one app. Or are you sharing it between
I thought I
screens?
was sharing the window. I am sharing the window because it's moving from tab to tab. It just
Yeah,
doesn't
you
like,
can do that. That's
oh, so let
okay.
me share the entire
That's
screen. Let me see if I can do the entire screen.
do that with both windows up there if you want. Okay,
Screen.
so in under 5 minutes, you got the prompt we needed. That's what I wanted the timer to represent anyway. So I'll go ahead and stop the timer.
Well, let's do the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're
So in
gonna
under five, and five, we got the prompt. So we'll go from there.
Yep, chiropractic company name was Chiropractic Services LLC, I think. Let me see.
So what managed to get you? Was it the master model prompt was the keyword here that really triggered this perfect like framework for this type of prompt? Because it looks like that was a good part of it.
Yeah, so I've trained my ChatGPT on what our AI VA master prompts should look like.
Gotcha.
So as it goes through, it already knows this. So that piece was a little bit of a cheat here. You'd have to go through and track
Oh
that.
no,
So this is
I
actually really
understand.
cool. So now we can go through and we can choose the voices that we want. You can put background noise in there if you want for the voice, and then you can choose a phone number. So I'm not going to purchase a phone number
Yeah.
on this. I'm going to just skip and go manual setup here.
All right, so it's
And
It
then I'm going to
passes
close
through
that
though.
out.
Yeah.
So now the next step is putting this in. So um, what I'm going to do is I want to take this and we're going to copy this out. So
So the system prompt was generated from the system based on the
yes.
first prompt.
So now we're going to create the system prompt. You can see I had a title in there.
Mhm.
And now it's going to fill this out based on this structure that we have in our system. And I don't need the conversation vision piece of it now. I'm just going to go here, copy this, paste it in here. So now we have our system prompt in there. Then I'm going to add new conversation stages. How many of those do we have? We had 6. So
Mhm.
I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. 6. So then in stage 1, I can come up here, greeting and introduction. We have to put in the title.
Yeah.
And then we come down here and I put all of this in here because it's going to act as kind of an index and of how to have the conversation. So it gives the objective, the prompt,
Mhm.
and I'm going to change this from prompt to example.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm going to tell it can deviate. Because I want this to work consistently, but I also don't want it to be cookie cutter and the same for everybody. I want everybody's interaction to be unique. So we're going to allow it to deviate from the wording, but keep the context. So now we have that. Then we're going to go down to the next stage and the same thing.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Boom.
I don't know what I just did.
Opened windows that shouldn't be there.
Right.
Basically, what Russ is building is a redirectional system prompt tree that is allowing the AI to have a conversation, and knowing how the person on the other end reacts allows the AI to respond accordingly. So, in case of greeting and introduction, it just gives its data, but then from there, it depends on how the person on the other end responds as to what stage the AI is going to take them to next. And that's where you see those colored dots refreshing each time he changes the stage. You have those loop ties that are taking place. Looks like an umbrella kind of over the side of that is really the connecting fabric between the stages. As one, it could jump to any of the other stages. At stage two, it can only follow down the line. It can't go back to the greeting and introduction stage, et cetera, et cetera. So each step is restricted or allowed based on roles as to which step it can access further after the point, or after the fact.
And keep in mind too, if I were doing this, we would typically do this with a form, which means the customer put in all their information. We would then get this information and we would take time to perfect this. I'm not going to go through and show you how to add different tools, how to do a lot of these different things. I will go through and ensure that everything is perfect on the back end. This is just kind of a brief overview.
This is really just the shell of the bot when it comes
Yes.
down to it. The engineering that takes place on the back end, as far as being able to construct he's giving an example prompt. This isn't as in depth as we take these prompts. This is one example of how you would build a quick chiropractic bot to put on a website and collect data. But then from there, if you want it to respond accordingly, you're going to have to dig in deep and identify all the factors of the business and the owner and everyone else and the voice that it's going to generate. What is it your brand represents? You're not just going to give it the industry information, because then it's an unrecognizable, autonomous nobody, which is just something there answering questions for the industry. That's one type of bot you can build. Absolutely. It's good to have that for yourself along your side if you want something as an assistant. But if you want something that knows your business inside and out, that can talk to others about it, then it needs to be trained in depth, and it has to know everything about your business operations to some extent or another in order to answer properly. And I love the fact that we can connect it to just about any phone number in the country, dude.
Yeah, that's the nice part about this is it's all built in. So I'm just going to see if I can purchase one. This is a demo account, so I don't even have a credit card on here. Let's see if it'll let it go through. It may tell me it can't.
We can add third-party systems like Twilio and Mailgun to things, depending on what types of workflows are built. But for the majority of the construction of these AI BAs, everything's built in.
Boom, it's there. So now we could go through and test it, and you could hear it, have the conversation, but we'll save that for the end. The next piece of this is going to be the custom AI functions. So we can create a custom function. Basically, this is going to pull out details. So here we're going to pull in name. Here. Variable is name, required, empty is not valid. So
in order for any AI to function, we need to throw variables at it. All a variable is a single phrase, word, or identity key, whatever it may be, that identifies a string or value of content as one item, so that you can maybe fill an entire blog post into the word or tag blog. Now that word blog takes all of that content that it holds for that blog post with it anywhere it goes within the variable structure. So it simply adds the variable. Most people know this in form letters. You replace the name, address, and phone with whatever's in your database. Same thing that we're doing here.
So what I'm doing here as well is I'm doing the intake. So we're getting their name, date of birth, their pain point. So put the user's pain and trouble areas here. And every time I'm just telling it what to collect and giving it more context, and then I'm putting the variable here so that it knows. And then here we give it an overall instruction of use this tool, collect the intake info so we can verify them and get them the service they need. So then we're going to create this. So now we created that, and this allows us to create automations for this. So now we can take this and we can give them more information about whatever kind of, in this case, chiropractic service they're getting. We can send them custom emails about that. We can send them text reminders. We can book an appointment, pretty much whatever we want. We can now put it in to this, and we can do a custom LLM. So I want to say now what the customer is paying and get them more info about it.
We don't even notice how Ross misspelled and. You could let that go.
I could. I just
because the AI knows better. The AI understands misspellings and it knows when a word is spelled incorrectly, and in context, it can decipher what the spelling of the word is on its own. It's really not a necessity anymore to keep going back, unless it's an obvious error that would cause a glitch in understanding. Then yes, but otherwise, misspelling is kind of irrelevant nowadays.
we got Grace right here. Come back in here, edit, and now I've got to attach it to this automation. What did I do there? Yeah, info about, there we go. So, okay, so now it's attached. Now we save it. Now I can go back to the automation and we can pull this in. And now I'll have trigger data that will give me name, date of birth, and pain point. I put that in the wrong spot. So then what's cool about this is I could actually come in and I can do variables again. So let's call this info about pain point, put so pain info or pain management info.
So you're basically getting their pain point data, running it through AI to come up with a pain point solution, and responding with the pain point solution as a variable.
Yep. So then we're going to say we're sending this an email. So we're going to put this in email subject line. And then we're going to put an email body. So now we do this. But what I need to go back here to do is we're going to hard code this. So instead of pulling that in, I just showed you we can do that, but there's no conversation to pull the data in for them. So let's do this and say neck and back pain from doing a lot of sitting at the computer because I work from home. And I'm going to leave that typo in there.
Any similarities to actual persons and events is not, I could go on with that disclaimer, but
So now that the disclaimer has been read, you can see here, to alleviate neck and back pain from prolonged sitting, considering incorporating the stretching, ergonomic adjustments to your workspace, and taking breaks every 30 minutes to stand and move around. So then it's going to come through email subject, tips to alleviate your neck and back pain while working from home. And then it put us together an email with something that's valuable. So now in between chiropractic visits, you're getting touch points as a chiropractor out there to your clients who are going to be struggling in between visits, but now they're thinking about you at home. They're thinking about, man, he cares about me so much. In this case, James Franco cares about them so much that they want to go back and see their chiropractor because they not only do the adjustments, but they give you things to make your life better in between times. And you can take this data all based off of the intake that you took originally, and you can now set up an automation to send these blasts out weekly or twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is, and take different emails and put them out there. So now we have an AI that is taking and booking your conversations. They are also then providing value in between and helping people keep you at the forefront of their mind and creating customized emails that are personalized to that user or that customer's pain points that is already there. This is how I would build out a chiropractic AI to be my receptionist, my intake employee, and to make sure that we're sending out personalized touch points in between visits. And I did that all in how long, Leland?
20 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact. So nice job.
So
Gotta love it.
that gives you a framework of exactly how you can do this with the right systems. And, we use our Hyperflow CRM. Leland uses his AIO CRM.
Right.
And we build this out, but you can do this in different systems. I could technically build this out in a Make or a Late Node by doing some of this stuff and just calling ChatGPT or calling Claude instead of doing it directly in our CRM system. Like Leland and I, we have built these systems out so that it's all built in one system and you don't have to go anywhere else. But if you're using these frameworks and how we do this, you can do this on your own using a separate system. I mean, heck, if you're really good, you can build APIs to make the calls directly and build this out.
For sure.
But
and that's the thing. It's a lot more than what a lot of people think. And when they see a demonstration like that, they're like, how am I supposed to figure all that out and do all that? And we get it. That's why we're here. We really originated this workshop for 2 reasons. We have a podcast following. Okay, Ross and I are members of a cast that go out, or used to go out, and we will be again soon. Lee Love, by the way, got a hold of me the other day. He has managed to get close on the DC home. He's out of, he's getting close on another DC home. He's on his way. He's in Florida now. He got to move. He's back down in the southern areas, comfortably in, but no studio yet. So he got a hold of me on his Starlink to let me know he was still out there and still alive. So Lee, if you're watching today, we're glad to hear you're still okay. We haven't heard much from Lee lately. Chris is also available. We're looking at probably not bringing Brad back in because he's really busy right now. And our great hangout with Greg there with our Shopify guest there for a little while is not going to continue, mostly because Greg's very busy as well. So for us moving forward, we're probably looking at a 4-member cast on Best AI Podcast at most, and at least Ross and I will be out here on, what do you think, Wednesdays, just before the podcast? Like, I was thinking of making the podcast at noon and then follow it up with the workshop.
I would really like to do an 11 and 12 o'clock back to back.
Let's do it that way then. So 11 through 1 will be here every Wednesday. Moving forward, we're going to reorganize the podcast, so that may or may not fire next week. I don't think we'll be having enough time with the projects we're working on right now. We'll probably wait until, I'm thinking, October 1st, maybe somewhere in that area. We're going to look at, what's the calendar? When we look in October, let's just move the calendar ahead. So yeah, that would be October 2nd would be maybe a good day to start the podcast again. And that way we come out here, we really talk for the first hour about what's going on in AI and give you guys some of the trendy stuff and what's really going on and talk about what we do with AI. And then we will extend that offer out for another hour so that you guys can hang out with us, ask questions, and decide if there's something you want to get involved in or if there's something you need to learn better, then we'll be here to help. But that's really all we can offer moving forward. We've been out here before. We've mentioned this fact that we've gone with our beginning opening early bird offers, our early adopter offers, and all that type of stuff to get people into our systems. And we still have people now then asking, can we get free trials? Can we come in? And sometimes we offer free trials for certain individuals that need to really understand. But for people who've been around the block several times, already have a CRM or know what's going on and understand in depth of what we do, then no, there's really a service fee for what we do. So we just want to make that clear. If we make appointments with people, we usually give free consultations, and then we tend to charge for any consults after that. So, Ross, I wanted to kind of cover too, just with regards to form and booking integration. When it comes to forms, people might have Calendly, people might have other ones like PickTime. There's a lot of them out there. We don't really need to bother with changing that if you already have something like that. It makes it easier sometimes, but it's not a necessity, right? We can just drop links.
The only caveat to that I will say is I just personally built out an AI VA for a red light therapy company. They have 3 red light therapy beds.
Mhm.
Each one of those has certain times that it's available, and a Calendly system doesn't allow you to do 3 calendars in one. Our system does. So we could then set a calendar for each one of those beds, have 3 times simultaneously available. And as one gets booked, you still have 2 left. 2 gets booked, you still have 1 left. And then once that third's booked, you moved on to the next slot. Calendly does not do that, but that's
Really? Isn't that just a round robin?
it is, but because it doesn't integrate easily into our system that way, and we can only give a calendar link, it can't round robin at this point. We're working on building an API in so that it integrates Calendly directly. And then on that, it will allow it to look at multiple calendars to book. But that's probably still a few months off before we get that done. Otherwise, if you're 99% of the rest of the people out there that just have one calendar linking booking link, it doesn't matter. You can just put that in the prompt and have it book. We even have that built into where if you don't have an internal booking link, you just send this one and it knows to look at that, and it crawls that in real time.
And that was a perfect answer. I was really just letting people understand that you can go either way. We're not going to force you out of your if you don't like the way our calendar looks, it's fine. Use whatever you want. It's just if you want to experience the full integration, which the key factor here is the systems that Ross and I are involved with were always meant to be full on. I mean, the database is meant to be reciprocal across all channels. So everything's connected to everything. It's a truly all-in-one system. And there are a lot of them out there that claim to be all-in-one systems, but they're not always. And sometimes we have to plug in certain elements to make things work, or sometimes systems that we have aren't up to the par standard that we're looking for. So we pull it out and plug in something else. We have to do that on a regular basis. Sometimes providers fail out and go away. You can't always rely on every vendor in the market, but we do have what we can rely on. We go for the top dog. We're always looking for a good provider when it comes to service. We've run into mail issues in the past. We've run into SMS issues in the past. You can't avoid these. Everyone's having them. 10DLC became a nightmare instantly. It was like all of a sudden everybody had to have all these approvals in order to send text messages anywhere without having them blocked literally from being received. So same thing happened with Google when Google came out with the spank on the whole SPF record and DKIM record and DMARC record requirements. A lot of mail access was shut down across many channels. Get mail through Gmail, and that became a total nightmare for a while, and we had to deal with that. So we always ask people that come to us for a new system to realize it's just like any other tech. It has to be built out, and it has to be tested, and it has to be maintained. It's not something that you just fire and forget, like your email, reader. That's different. That's just something that has one task and it does it one time when you ask it to do it. We can run automations that way, but Ross doesn't build those kind of automations, do you? He's got automations calling him right now, asking him, what are you still doing on this feed? You should be over here working on this automation. But
yeah, no, I was gonna try to demo this AI real quick after you're done, but that's I'm testing it right now. So
we're all good. Again, this is a one-off workshop today. We're going to be reformatting things a little bit. And in this case, I'm not even worried about it. If there's nobody here to participate, which if you're watching out there on YouTube or anywhere else on Facebook, which all we have on Facebook are the links, so they're going to YouTube anyway. Go to bestaipodcast.tv, which is going to change soon. I hate to say that. I just didn't get the page up yet. It's going to be Best AI TV with the .tv. The podcast will be part of that, but we're going to put it all on one channel. It was kind of an afterthought, but we need to fix it. And once we do, that's where you're going to find us both. Ross is also running. What's the channel name again, Ross?
It's at Maverick Solutions on YouTube. Trying to get that worked out. I've done a lot of shorts and videos in the past, and we put probably about 10% of them on that channel as we were building that out. The rest of them are on another channel called OmniHost. We built out an AI system for Airbnb hosts, and that's where we were putting most of that traction to. So we're building out at Maverick Solutions on YouTube right now, and that's going to be where everything is going forward. And then you can find us on Facebook at Maverick Solutions as well.
Looking forward to what we build together. We've got a big client potential coming up. Ross and I are going to be working on a project together if things all go well. And there's also others in the works that I'm not even privy to talk about yet. But if you're in the market to build something, I don't care what it is, and you can't figure out why you're so tied to that product and you can't get it to move ahead, it's probably because you have your hands on all the reins. You're trying to do it all yourself. I've been there. I've done that. I still do that at times, Ross. I know you probably do too. It's like this solarpreneur mindset that you can't delegate work. Delegating to an AI is even sometimes more nerve-wracking, knowing that you're not talking to a human or shaking a human's hand to make a deal, but they're reliable. I think they're more reliable. When it comes down to getting the job done, I don't have to know, dude, are you there getting that work done or what? How come you didn't show up this morning?
Well, and if you do want to look at it, you can track it in your system. So you don't have to pick up the phone and call. You just go look at the logs.
Yeah.
And
that's what I think I love about it.
And I was nervous about it. Like I've seen the power of what AI can do, but I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous about it when it first, like, I launched it in my company. I'm like, shit, I hope this works. I hope it doesn't fuck up. And it works, man. When you start getting people booking appointments, they talk to your AI and then they call you. And some people are like, dang, like I had one dude tell me, you are one automated son of a bitch. I'm like, I am, because now I can spend more time with you instead of booking that appointment with you, which doesn't get us anywhere. That doesn't build a relationship. It doesn't help me find out what your problem is. Let's let the AI do that, capture the information. He was like, no, I love it. And in fact, he goes in deeper, and a lot of customers say this is so much better than having to talk to a person who's reading a script. If you've ever called into Comcast or AT&T or any of these companies, and you ask them a question that they don't know, you can hear them flipping through the script, or you can hear the question in their voice as they're scrolling on their screen to find the answer. And AI is doing that in real time, finding the answer. So if you have a script there, now AI is just answering it. And me on the other end of that, I appreciate that you're respecting my time and I don't have to wait on a new person, because attrition rates in call centers are atrocious. They're like 40 and 50% attrition rate, which means you're getting new people constantly. And the ones who stay become supervisors or get burnt out and they go get another job somewhere else. And the AI never has to be retrained. It knows the answers, and it's just a better look for everyone all around.
Can I test that one you just built yet?
Yeah.
Is it ready to go? What's the number?
Let's try it. I don't know if the number's linked up yet. And to be honest with you,
okay.
I don't have a credit card on there.
You want to test it from there? You'd have to test it from there. Go ahead.
I mean, let's try it and see. It's turned on. Everything should be working, but
I'm just curious. What I was going to do though, Ross, is because you mentioned attrition rates at customer service call-in centers, and you know the reason why, right?
Here.
I think we all know the reason why. It's the stress level. It's the anxiety level. Yeah. It's the getting yelled and cussed at by customers that are pissed off about what their products aren't doing. And they're calling and complaining and complaining and complaining. And people cannot deal with that over time. I mean, it's just a repetitive thing that you have to learn to tune out. And if you can't be in that business. So this doesn't, how does it deal with a bad customer?
Here, let's
Like,
test
have
one that
we,
I
have
built
we
out.
really like cussed it out and seen
Let's
like
do it.
what it'll do? I'm willing. I want to give it a shot and see what
Here,
it's capable
let
of.
me give you a number. This is the one I built out for an auto dealership.
Okay.
So you're going to be booking a call to get your car serviced.
Okay.
704 520 3209.
The call cannot be
I
completed
get
as
that every
dialed.
time. I think it's my phone. Let me try the other one.
I'm going to
Because
mute
I
my end
use
too.
that's
So there's
a.
nothing.
I'm gonna try Google Voice on my machine. I should be able to play it back here. This is actually a better way to do it if it works. So, right number. All right, what's that number again? One more time.
I just put it in chat if you need it, but I'll read it. 704
Okay.
520
Yep.
3209. And I'm going to mute my end.
Hi, thank you for calling Auto Service, RS Service Department. This is Stacey, your service appointment coordinator.
Can you hear that?
Please note that this call may be recorded for quality assurance. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I need to get my car repaired.
I'd be happy to help you with that. Could you please tell me what type of service your vehicle needs today? For example, are you looking for an oil change, tire
No.
replacement, or
You guys
something else?
messed up. The last time I brought it in there, I came for an oil change, and you guys changed the radiator fluid and gave me new windshield wipers. This is not what I asked for.
I'm really sorry to hear about that mix-up. I understand how frustrating it can be when things don't go as planned. Let's make sure we get it right this time. Could you please confirm what specific service you would like for your vehicle today?
I want to reclaim. I want some money back for the first service that I got. I paid $45 for an oil change, and I got windshield wipers and wiper fluid. That is not what I paid for. I need my money back immediately.
I understand your concern about the.
I don't think you
previous
understand.
service
I
you requested
don't. I
for.
want an
What
answer to my
specific
question.
service- I completely understand your frustration, and I want to help you get this resolved. However, I'm not able to process refunds directly.
Okay, then I need to talk to
contacting our
somebody who
customer
can. Can I talk to a real person that can actually give me my money back?
I understand that you want to speak with someone who can assist you with your refund. I recommend calling our customer service team directly at the number provided on our website, as they will be able to help you with that. In the meantime, if you need to schedule the service for your vehicle, I'm here to assist you with that as well.
No,
What
I
specific
told you I don't
service
want
do
any
you need?
service. I don't want any service. I just want my money back. So if you can't connect me with anybody, then I'm going to have to pass on this. And I would appreciate it if you never call me again.
Hi, thank you for calling Auto Service.
Okay, I
RS
wanted to
Service
see what happened
Department. This is-
because
And
we need to adjust these things. Sorry, go ahead.
yes, and that's a demo. So I'm actually going to go in and add a new stage to this right now, and we can test it again. So let's call it disgruntled, or let's call it angry customer.
The angry path.
Yeah.
And I'm
Now I'm
trying
gonna
to
put-
choke. I'm trying to choke the bot. I mean, I wanna mess
And
it
this
up.
is how easy it is to fix these things.
Yeah.
And
But
we'll
do
see
they
if it
always?
actually fixes. But this, in theory, is how it should work. So if a customer is angry, do not tell them you understand.
That's a good one.
Just let them know you are going to work to fix it. If it is not something you can fix, transfer the call to a human.
Always a good call.
And then
Anytime
we're
you've got a bot that might not or should not be answering a specific question, you should redirect. I mean, that's just common sense.
so we're gonna call this
AI is great for acquiring customers, but you certainly don't want AI losing them for you if it's giving bad answers.
so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here because I'm actually gonna have
Mhm.
I'm gonna have this transferred to my cell phone and I
Yeah,
will
go for
answer it.
Yeah. Do what he's got to do. And I should be able to recall the number. Yeah, I have it here. So I'm gonna check and see if anybody's out there on YouTube taking a peek. Doesn't look like anybody's watching today, Ross, but that's okay. We have 10 subscribers already. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Out on Best AI TV. Yeah, all good. I can't wait to get this ball rolling because I'm just now starting to cut videos. I'm going to be cutting videos later today, and that's mostly for Ray, but it's going to also be included on some of my channel stuff when it comes to New Oaks. And then I'm going to start doing my SOPs for AIO and probably build out another white label as well about it for a whole nother community. I can't wait to see how this goes. And that's the thing, folks. If you don't understand the concept behind white label, if you don't like my brand or Russ's brand, we more than have the ability to send one over that you can put your own brand on as well. Just let us know if that's something you're interested in. All right, we got a couple other things here. The introduction to automations, I think we kind of covered. You've covered the LLM functionality within the automation. We're doing the live demo. We've pretty much deployed the bot, so there was no issue in all of that. And now we're doing a quick, as the call to action goes, see if we can break it. That's the idea for every build that we do. If we can't break it, then we did something right. And we're
Want to
still
try again?
confused. Yeah,
It should be ready. And I changed the voice on it too, because I don't really like the British voice. That was just what I set it up on to begin with.
For an American call, it would probably be best. All right, I'm gonna fire it up and turn on the speakers. So I could actually do this the other way. If I can do this way, I won't have to open the speaker and you'll be able to talk. So let me see if it actually pumps it out. You tell me if you hear it this way.
Thank you for calling Auto Service RES.
Can you hear it? All right, I gotta do it this way then. Okay. Hi, it's me. I was looking to correct an appointment that was made in error.
Hello. Thank you for calling Auto Service RS.
Oh, hold on. Oh, it's ringing to you already. I think it's because I was angry. It went ahead and rang your phone. Is it calling your phone? Hey,
Please leave your message for.
no, I didn't hear me. All right, my bad.
So it did call me,
Yeah.
but I need to fix that prompt. It shouldn't have gone that fast.
Yeah, I think it was because I had the mic unopened though. It didn't hear me, I don't think, at first, and that's why it confused it. Let me just try one more time before you
Hang on. Okay.
All
right, go ahead.
What it does. All right, I'm opening up the mic again. There we go.
Hi. Thank you for calling Auto Service RES Service Department. This is Stacy, your service appointment coordinator. Please note that this call may be recorded for quality assurance. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Stacy. You guys blew it on that oil change last week. Nope. So we know. That's all right. That's good. So you understand, folks, this is how it works. This is the process. And this is why training on our end is so important, because we have the ability to just come in here, fire it up, see what it's doing, ask its questions. And if it breaks, we just go back and fix it. Now, if you're building your own bot, do it yourself, you're going to have to tackle these little things, these little nuances and fixer-uppers that you have to do as you move ahead and building your own personal bot. And that's why we continue to train on this.
So what I'm doing right now is I am actually making another stage. So it's going to be angry customer information collection. And then we're going to pass that on to the call transfer in the next stage so that it'll be redirected.
Gotcha. Makes sense. All right, and I won't have to cover up the audio for you this time. I just had to open it up so I could hear it, but you weren't getting it on the. I was trying to feed it back to you through the computer, but it was working. All right. Let me know. Are we good?
No, not yet. I gotta type in the instructions.
And then he has to retrain the bot as well. So these are all based on the database that's on the back end that Ross has to add more data to. And that's the beauty of it. Really, when it comes down to it, it's one big database of info. And the bot is able to read it so fast and so quick It beats us to the punch every time. Oh, I wonder what's calling about there. I'll check that out later.
All right. So
What am
now
I-
I'm changing. I have to set up the conversation vision and then we will be good to go.
So just to reiterate, while Ross is doing that, if you want to find us next week out here at Best AI TV is where it's going to be. You're watching it now on YouTube. We do have a Facebook page as well, and the website's coming. I have a good feeling I'm going to take the Best AI Podcast.tv website and just flip it over to the other domain, rename it Best AI TV, and show the podcast links for all the broadcasts that are podcasts. And then what we'll probably do is build out a WordPress build of some form or another for a blog that will maintain some of this content on, because I think in the end, the YouTube channel is great, but a good storage source, a CMS of sorts that we can put all of this stuff in is maybe a once a week blog and have it all summarized by Zoom, which I have attached the AI within Zoom to these broadcasts now. We'll be able to get summaries of everything that we talk about, and we should be able to publish those available to you guys. So if you want to take a look at them, we'll edit those for content and redact as necessary. But if everybody's okay with that, that'll be kind of a follow-up that you can go to after the broadcast, or if you miss a broadcast each week. I was really glad to see that they added it natively to Zoom, Ross, because I used to use a few of those third-party apps, and it just got to be such a pain in the butt. Now, when you go into your recordings, you basically have a link that takes you right to the nice summarized description. It's chaptered. It's all you got to do is like copy and paste that stuff out into a blog if you wanted to. And you've got your video done and everything right there on Zoom. I love it. So,
All right. Go ahead and try it. I may have a little redundancy in letting them know we're going to transfer it to a manager, but we'll see how it works.
things happen. And this is how we grow.
Hi, thank you for calling Auto Service RES Service Department. This is Stacy, your service appointment coordinator. Please note that this call may be recorded for quality assurance. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Stacy. This is Leland. You guys really blew that oil change last week.
I'm sorry to hear that. Leland.
Oh, yeah, that's a jump, isn't it? So what was the prompt again that you've got there? Because it's like immediately calling your phone number, isn't it?
Please leave your message for...
Oh, it's taking it. But is that your phone?
Yeah, it is calling me. So it's weird. It's like it's skipping over. Maybe I didn't save it. I got to check and see.
Okay.
But what
That's
it
no
does,
big
so I'll show you what I have here so we can look at this. And this is something we may
Yeah.
need to take back to the devs and try to correct.
And that's okay. That's why I brought it up today, because it popped in my mind the minute you said attrition. I was like, oh my God, those people are getting yelled at all the time. We're not really testing very well an angry customer. And
No, I hadn't tested on an angry customer. So this is the first use case of this, and we're doing it live because that's how we do it. I don't try to hide from it. If it doesn't work, we can find a way to make it work. So what I have here is, if you get an angry customer in any of these stages, I want it to go to angry customer data collection.
gotcha.
If a customer is angry, do not tell them you understand. Just let them know you're working to fix it. Collect as much information as you can about why they're angry. After you have collected as much information as you can, if it's something you can fix,
That might
Can't.
be it right there. Should be cannot fix.
can't fix, transfer the call to a human representative.
Because it is something it can fix. It was selling itself every time. Well, I can fix that, so I got to tell Ross that I can fix it.
It very possibly could have been
That's
that
what it was
typo.
doing. It could have been.
But
just
then this stage,
let's try. Wait. Let's stop, because this is how you troubleshoot. Let's
Yep.
stop right here, save it, and confirm whether that can't. It was just enough to make this bot freak out and do
All
the
right.
wrong thing.
Give
Because
it a
I
shot.
really have a good possibility that that's the case. All right, let's go for it. Here we go. And you can talk all you want. I've separated the volumes on both you guys. So
Hi, thank you for calling Auto Service. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat what you said?
you must have heard me talking. Yeah, this is Leland. You guys messed up my oil change last week. Hello. See what it does. Nope, she's freaking out today.
I appreciate your patience.
No, that's good. That's good. Hold on a minute. Let
I
it go.
understand.
I want to see
I
what.
understand that you're feeling frustrated. I understand that you're feeling frustrated.
Okay, we caught her in a
I'm
loop.
going.
But you kept talking and she kept picking up
Yeah.
on it.
I wanted to see what it would do. That's kind of interesting. And then it'll take us to a message again, right?
Yep.
Please leave your message.
I won't talk this time. Let me call it back. I won't say a word until it finishes its intro because I cut her off while she was introducing herself.
But that's still something we need to focus on to fix.
Absolutely. I just want to see what it does. See right away. I cut her off while she was talking.
I understand you're feeling frustrated.
One more time. I'm gonna let her talk.
That shouldn't even go through though.
Hi. Thank you for calling.
It's picking up interference on my
I'd be
computer.
happy to help you with that.
That's what it is. It's most likely picking up some type of static interference. So I would wipe that prompt and start over, and we'll get that fixed on the back end. So I'm glad this happened. I'm glad. I really am. Before the show ended, because now we've got to focus some attention on the angry customer.
And what we'll do
interrupting
is
the
we'll
call.
come back next week and show the improvements that we made on this because that's what we'll
That's
have
not
to do.
acceptable.
This is going to
Yeah,
be, I
it's-
mean, I think there's got to be a massive amount of angry customers that call in and not just the good customers. So we definitely have to get this resolved because that's going to have to be something that has to work through.
We don't want anybody to be left behind because the best customer is an angry customer satisfied.
Yep.
Honestly, it'll come to that because if you can satisfy their problem through all of that anger, knowing that they've been dealing with that frustration and that pain point for so long that you can actually relieve it with this component, but we don't want to aggravate it. So back to the drawing board for a minute,
Yep.
for us, Ross.
It's exciting because once we get this figured out, I don't think a lot of people have this figured out either. So we're just going to keep leading and innovating. And when you're doing that, you run into these problems that you have to solve.
Absolutely. All right, dude. We'll leave it at that. The recordings will be coming up. I have to go back and fetch them from Facebook because what happened in the end was the system we were using prior to was built on Working Live US. And apologetically, they got a hold of me at the last minute through my wife's account, which said, tomorrow you will no longer have a Zoom account through this establishment. And it wasn't our fault. It's a partnership that they had with Zoom. And we were getting the 500-seat webinar through them. Now we're to 1,000-seat meeting only. We don't have the webinar account anymore, but we do have the full 1080p account, and we're using that going forward. Whether we'll run into hiccups with Zoom again, we don't know. But the fact of the matter is if you registered previously to any of these events and you couldn't get into it today, we apologize, but it was because of the registration efforts. We do have a new link on the website. So go re-register for the Zoom. That way you'll get notified of all of them all the way up till December 18th. I have them programmed out. So that's one a week until the week before Christmas so that we don't interfere with the holiday. But that will be one of those things. And I may have Hanukkah thrown in there somewhere where we have to butch out, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, Russ, we'll let you go.
All right.
Figuring
I'll
this
catch y'all
thing
next
out.
week.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good one.